Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
I just don't know, but probably another week, maybe 2. If it goes any longer than that, I'm going to have to probably shut the doors.
Without a stimulus deal yet from the federal government, local businesses say they are operating on razor-thin margins. Some tell us they don't know if they'll be able to make it for another week under the current coronavirus restrictions. Valley News Team's Joshua Pagero talked to several businesses as they try to find creative ways to keep the lights on.
Rhonda Asleson says she has to find a way to keep her West Fargo clothing store open.
If these doors close completely, they won't reopen.
Since the restrictions have been in place because of the coronavirus, Asleson says she's been doing live streams of her inventory.
I don't have the resources that Walmart or, somebody else has, Menards or.
Yet, Asleson says she doesn't know how long she can stay afloat with the way things currently are. The stores that manufacture the clothes she buys told her they are closed.
The store will empty out. Everybody else is shut down in other states where we get our stuff, so that'll put a stop to my online sales.
While some businesses are continuing to stay open during the coronavirus outbreak, others, like True Blue, have decided to close indefinitely, hoping they can reopen soon. Dentist Austin Vetter says he's offering online consultations for any person with tooth issues.
So that they can stay from home, keep the social distancing, but yet be treated by a practitioner.
Dr. Vetter says his Fargo office is open for emergency surgeries only.
We've had to lay off quite a bit of staff. A lot of our staff are at home and kind of wondering what the next step is.
The hallways of his office are dark and the chairs are empty, creating a bleak outlook for the future.
If I'm a young business owner, and so it might be a little bit harder for someone like me to weather the storm versus someone that's been in practice for many years. But I always tell my staff that we need to just rise up and overcome.
Vetter, along with Asleson, wouldn't mind federal help, but they say they're not counting on it. Instead, they're focused on making sure their businesses survive post-coronavirus pandemic. In Fargo, Joshua Pagero, Valley News Live.
Dr. Vetter says he hopes by offering online consultations he can ease the burden hospitals may face. North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum announced today that the number of confirmed cases of COVID-19 in the state is now up to 36. The governor also laid out some good news for those with student loans through the Bank of North Dakota.
So effective immediately, if you're a student loan borrower with the Bank of North Dakota, you can defer your student loan payments for 6 months. Interest will continue to accrue, but there'll be no payments or penalties if you're not paying your loan.
So far, over 1,600 North Dakotans have been tested for COVID-19. 131 people are currently being monitored for symptoms. Currently, there are 7 people who are now hospitalized. Fargo Public Schools alerted parents this afternoon that it submitted its distance learning plan to the state today, and they're waiting on approval. But school leaders say they anticipate beginning e-learning on Wednesday, April 1st. They say their plan is posted on the district website, but also to be watching for more emails and phone calls in the coming days. And Minnesota health officials say the number of positive coronavirus cases in that state has risen from 235 to 262. Officials are reporting that 88 patients are no longer under isolation. So far, only 3 of the cases are in Clay County. Over 5,000 people have been tested in that state. Minnesota Governor Walz signed executive orders to further strengthen the state's response to the COVID-19 pandemic. These executive orders suspend evictions and establish emergency loans for small businesses. We dig more into the impacts these orders will have on people in our area tonight on Valley News Live, 10 at 10. A little breezy today, but primarily gloomy outside. The best part of it has been the warmer temps. Mainly gloomy then, Hutch? The temps, though, continue to melt away some of the snow. Let's get the latest from Hutch, who is here with your Tuesday night weather planner. Hutch?
Yeah, that tower cam there, Andrea, by the way, is 200 feet up above. That tells you how low to the ground the clouds are. And we told you yesterday it was going to be one of those gray and soupy kind of days. That's what's going on. Here's a look at visibilities down to a half a mile or so in Hallock, and things are starting to break out to the west. We're getting warmer and drier air punching in from the west. But for those of us to the east of the Red River, some sprinkles and, well, the fog and haze continues. Our winds are from the south, keeping temperatures warm. Look at Sisseton, 48. Look at Mobridge and Aberdeen. Well, we'll warm up. Slowly. So temperatures are above average for now. We'll stay that way for a little bit in the 30s this evening with cloudy skies continuing. We'll see clearing from west to east. In Grand Forks tonight, low 30s. Now we have the coldest weather of the entire week coming up for your Wednesday. I'll have the wintry details on that and then the warm up that follows here in just a few minutes.
All right. Thanks, Hutch.
Yeah.
Amid fears and staying home and stockpiling food, it's been easy to forget that over 100,000 people worldwide have recovered from COVID-19. One of the people who's been impacted is a North Dakota woman. Although she's not out of the woods yet, Alicia Rich from Bismarck has a message that she wants to share. She's been in quarantine with COVID-19 for nearly a week. She took to Facebook, reminding her friends and family that they are not invincible.
Anyone can get it. And my biggest fear when I found out was, who have I spread this to? And how long have I had this? Not only am I quarantined to this apartment, I'm kind of quarantined to my room just because I don't want, to risk my parents getting it.
Alicia has been working closely with the health department as she recovers from the virus. The U.S. military says a U.S. soldier and Moorhead native was found dead in her barracks at Camp Humphreys in South Korea. According to Stars and Stripes, the private first class Marissa Jo Gloria was pronounced dead at the scene by emergency medical personnel after she was found unresponsive on Saturday. An official ruled out coronavirus as the cause of death. Gloria joined the Army from Fargo in January of 2019. Stars and Stripes adds that Gloria was assigned to the Sustainment Brigade after completing training at Fort Leonard Wood in Missouri and arrived at Camp Humphreys last April. Stick with Valley News Live as we learn more about her death. President Donald Trump said today in a White House media briefing that he hopes to see the U.S. economy reopen by Easter, which is April 12th. The president says he is already looking forward to easing the advisories that have sidelined workers, shuttered schools, and led to the widespread economic slowdown. Fargo police are warning the community about a man convicted of going into a random woman's house and cutting her before sexually assaulting her. 57-year-old Ronald Thompson was convicted in Bismarck in 1992. He's now living at 734 College Street North, that is close to NDSU. Police say that Thompson dragged his victim out of the shower before assaulting her. He is considered a high-risk offender. President Trump has also announced that the October 2020 deadline for compliance with the federal Real ID program is postponed. The Real ID Act was passed after the 9/11 attacks and sought to make all state-issued identification cards more secure with uniform national standards. Just before the coronavirus epidemic began to sweep through the U.S., NBC News reported that airports warned of chaos if Trump did not postpone the October 2020 deadline. The new deadline date has not yet been released. With the CDC's new guidelines for group gatherings, couples tying the knot this spring are taking a hard hit. But local wedding venue, The Pines, is trying to ease couples' stress and now offering to rebook receptions without any extra cost.
They still want to get married, most of them on their chosen date, so anything that we can do to kind of help this process feel as not strange as possible, we're here for them.
One Fargo woman says her May wedding will now only have a 10-person guest list, but the rest of her friends and family will be able to attend their reception later this year. The Otter Tail Power Company is warning people about scammers targeting customers and pressuring them to make immediate payments. They also say the scammers may spoof the company's phone number to make the call seem legit. The company says they will never ask to process a payment over the phone, especially through services like MoneyPack, MoneyGram, or prepaid credit cards. So they urge customers to report illegal activity to local law enforcement and to the Federal Trade Commission. Several school resource officers in Grand Forks say they miss their students. The officers haven't seen the majority of their students since Governor Doug Burgum announced the closing of schools because of the outbreak last week. So here's a message the officers want to pass along to their students.
Hey guys, it's Officer Scary. As you can see, we have a little bit of light construction going on at our house.
Miss you guys at Central High School, Wilder, Winship, and out at Community High School.
Hey guys, Officer Farmer, right in the middle of a snowball fight here, but thought I would check in. Missing you guys at Schrader Kelly Viking.
It's Officer Thor here, just checking in to say hi. I miss everybody, especially those over at South, Century, and Discovery.
The officers say they hope everyone is staying safe and say don't be afraid to reach out to them if you need anything. The power of technology. Later on Valley News Live at 6, a different way. One Minnesota woman is visiting her parents.
A soupy day as forecast across the valley. We even have some raindrops hitting the lens and road surfaces along Highway 11 in Roseau County. We're seeing sunshine return out to the west. Your hour-by-hour forecast is coming up right after this.